Hello, I'm so excited to share this video. You're looking at a gorgeous gold crystal pave clasp. And I know you're like, yeah, Vicki, it's a magnet clasp. We've seen them. Pretty. It is a clasp. It's not a magnet clasp. The loops on the end here are wire, right? Just wire. They move, unlike your typical magnet clasp or crystal pave clasp, right? The loops are soldered, right? And it just pulls apart and of course locks back in if you have a good one. This is a screw clasp, so she unscrews. And so it would not be great for a bracelet. I would use it only for a necklace, and because it's so pretty, I put it in the front of a necklace. It would be gorgeous as the centerpiece, or if it was a long piece, it could be off to the side. But still, these little wire loops that are loose bothered me in that I thought, what if they break off or something? Oh my God, what's going on? Well, it turns out the whole thing's hollow, the threaded part and the part it screws into. And in fact, this wire is just a head pin. I'm gonna try to move it so can you see that that's just a head pin through there? And then someone's made the loop on top. And again, even this side, I mean, they're both head pins. It's hard to see this one because it's deeper, but it's just a head pin. So if it did break off, it'd be very easy to repair it. Or you could take them both out and it would just be a bead because the screw mechanism in there is hollow. So now there's just a hole in it. Right? It's so cool. But no, wait, just wait. It's not the coolest thing. So I could pretend this is string, just string it on like that, like a bead. Now, if I was going to replace that wire loop, I would just, here's my head pin, right? I put it in there, gets stuck up with the mechanism, and I'd make my loop at the top. This standard head pin's 21 gauge, it's a little thin, so I grabbed a ball head pin, which is 20 gauge, so it's a little more substantial, it fills that hole a little bit better. So that's an easy way to fix that if that wire loop was ever to break. But there's other cool things about it. Again, you could string right through it just like a bead. Let me tell you something else though before I show what I think is the cool part. These clasps are not from my store. This is well before my time, but I do recognize the metal and the plating. These are very vintage, 80s, probably 80s, 90s. I sold fashion jewelry at Nordstrom in the 80s, right? And the jewelry from that time, right, all the big jewelry, but all the jewelry houses, Trifari, Monet, Kenneth Lane, Anne Klein, Dior, all the platings and metals they used for their fashion jewelry was so high quality. That's what, look at this color, right? This again is part of someone else's collection. And it's held this beautiful gold color. These crystals are so well set. There's so many of them. They're so perfectly done. The jewelry from that time was so well made for costume jewelry. It's definitely not today. It does not work like that. But if you have any gold jewelry from that time, or your grandma's or your mom's, right, it's still holding the color and the weight of it and everything. So this is from that time. The quality is just second to none. They do not make costume jewelry like this anymore, or fashion jewelry, what do you want to call it. Just beautiful, you know, or maybe Chanel's or something else like that now, but you know, it used to be at Nordstrom or Macy's or, you know, all this great jewelry. So these are from that time, very special. So we could just use it as a bead if we wanted to, but we could use it as both. So because it's hollow, I'm gonna open that. I've got a silk cord here, and I have to look at this. I'm sorry that it's off camera for a sec, but I'm gonna string the needle, and I'll show you 1 second. I just have to be able to, you know, get it through the hole. Or I can pull it right back out again, just a minute. Okay. Don't come out. Okay, so here's the needle, right? I'm stringing the needle into the screw mechanism, the threaded part, because it's hollow, which is so cool. I have a knot at the end of my silk, and I used a heavy one so you could see it better, but pull this all the way over, and the knot is going to get stuck in there, and I kept kind of a tail on there so I could get it out easily, but pretend the tail's not there. So my knot's in there. I would do a little nail polish on her first, right? But then I'd pull her tight in there. Then I'd string all my beads or knot between them or whatever I'm doing. And then to finish her, I would just then go through this side of this clasp, and I would do my last knot inside of this mechanism. It's shallow enough that my tweezer can fit in here. So it's really important to start at that end, because I can't get a tweezer down there, but I can get one here. So right, so I would string, this through, I'd tie my knot and my tweezer would get it down there. But, so you'd have your whole necklace. I'd have my second knot or my last knot in there, and then this would, it's not gonna close because I have the thread in there. But, right, so it would be the focal or the center of your necklace, and it would be the clasp. And so clean. It would be so, right, we'd string this wouldn't show. You'd string your pearls or beads or whatever, or crystals. You could do white thread, doesn't matter. But it would string right into there, and it's not inside. You'd not cut that off, and a little nail polish, call it a day. And you could do a bead-along product with a crimp, you'd have to make a really tiny crimp or loop, or just do the crimp even on the end without a loop. That could work. I just think it's so gosh darn cool that you'd be able to finish this so cleanly right up to the bead. And you wouldn't be able to tell at all where the clasp is, right? So it would string right up to it. And it could be in the center, and if you wanted to pick it up some, other places, you could use crystal rondelles, the little rondelles with the crystals on the outside, or just more gold beads or something like that. I just think it's the coolest thing ever. I'm so jazzed about them. And unfortunately, these are sold because I shared them in a live last night. I just wanted to make a quick video. I might see if I can get some cast. I'm sure it'd be very expensive, but I just think they're really neat. So thanks for watching. I just love it. I'm gonna try to find some more if I can, possibly. I know they cost a fortune. Even these magnet clasps today with and partially it's the magnet that costs so much, but it's also the gold. I mean, the thing is, I have a very, very good supplier, and the clasp is from 2014. It's just the last year I made these samples. And the gold's good, but it's not as good as this. It's probably USA made, if I had to guess. Most fashion houses made their jewelry in the US at that time. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. Thanks for joining me. I apologize that these are not available. That was originally I'd planned to share that they were, but these sold. And if I can get more in, I will let you know. But I still wanted to share something I think is really special. Peace.